Are we there yet?
No.
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 Are we there yet?
You little...
I think we're there.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. EHG has officially started its press tour, starting with Rax and Zizarin for the Max Roll stream. And every single Friday they will be holding a different creator. Next Friday it's going to be Gazzy, the following Friday it's going to be Talkative Try, and then March 28th it will be myself and Frosty LaRue for the Town Portal podcast. And every single stream is going to have something special. I am so excited for my stream on March 28th. Either way, today we're going to do a special Dev Chat 164. And it might be on the shorter side, I'm not sure. I really only have 4 or 5 things, like key takeaways from this stream. And I want to start with you hearing it from the top dog, the creator from EHG, the reason why Last Epoch exists, Judd, talking about time frames.
For like every 3 months, every 4 months, any idea on something like that?
I think our ultimate goal is to get it down to 3 months. I think it's more reasonable to say 4 months is more what 11th Hour Games is capable at the moment. But again, we are continuing to create things that will just help us make sure that we can develop content more quickly. We're certainly not at the point where we want to rush things out the door and have things be buggy and broken and things like that. So, with the team size that we have right now and the tools at our disposal, aim for 3 months. If we land at like the four months or so time frame, that's generally what we're happy with.
Awesome.
I don't even know what to say. Aiming for 3 months. I feel like 4 months, 5 months is definitely pushing it, but obviously the 4 months from the top dog. Goal 3 months. So now let's talk about the new procedural generated side zones, the tombs and cemeteries.
Why don't we get into it here, all the cool new stuff? Why don't we talk about the Tombs of the Erased that you just brought up, which I think are the new side dungeons. I guess just best way to phrase this, can you just give us an overall view of the system and how it's going to work for us?
Yeah,
Great question.
I'll do that for you, Rex, no problem. In terms of Tombs of the Erased, with Season 2, we're introducing these new side zones. These are the tombs and cemeteries of the Erased that you might have seen in the trailer. These zones, as Judd mentioned, use our new procedural generation system, so each layout there is unique. That's something we've not been able to do before, and we're really keen to deploy elsewhere in future as well. These zones are the main entry point to interact with all of the new endgame systems and content that's coming for Season 2. So we have a new endgame faction to progress through, the Woven, and a Weaver tree that allows you to influence the monolith, both in terms of its rewards and its encounters. The theming for this season is based on the Weaver, which we've only alluded to previously through things like the Weaver's Will lore text. She's a big old spider titan who's trying to shape the world into her own version, and she's busy gathering and experimenting with souls from raised timelines as a source of memories to shape this new world. So the new Woven Echoes that you'll be exploring are based on these weird experiments by the Weaver, and we'll talk more about these shortly. So to summarize all of that, the start of the journey through the new endgame content really begins when you start exploring these tombs and cemetery side zones.
And when he talks about the Weaver tree, the best way I could describe this is a PoE atlas. This is a tree that you're going to take points into, and it's going to be completely changing your end game experience, especially what you're focused on. EHG has already teased some things on the Weaver tree, like the ability to remove arena echoes from your monolith map. Or in the flip side, you could lean into monolith arena runs where you get better rewards. Very interesting. Okay, buckle up for this. Idle enchanting, or another way to put it, idle crafting, officially confirmed for Season 2. This is going to be a huge power creep.
Yes. So when you get to the end of a tomb or cemetery, you'll be able to enchant an idol, specifically a class-specific idol, so one of the ones that takes up 3 or 4 slots in the idol inventory, and that adds a random affix to it from a new pool, and also gives it an amount of Weaver's Touch. Weaver's Touch is like Weaver's Will, but for idols instead of uniques. and it'll upgrade that extra affix it's added and also have a chance to add a new one. So you'll be able to get up to 4 affixes on your class-specific idols now. And the 3rd and 4th affix are from a new pool of affixes, so ones that haven't appeared on idols before. And like regular affixes, but unlike other idol affixes, these have 7 tiers, so you can they can upgrade with the Weaver's Touch system.
4 affixes coming to your idol, new pool of affixes coming for 2 of them, and they can go up to tier 7. Now, I don't think EHG gets enough credit for trying to innovate in the ARPG space. We had the faction system, and what Holly is about to explain right now is something that at least I have never experienced in an ARPG. How about make your own set?
What do we do with these shards? How does this help us?
This one still me? Yes. Okay. These they mostly work like regular shards. You craft them onto your items, and then they get set affixes. So set affixes have a couple of the stats from the original set item, not all of them, because that would explain the tooltip. But they also count as the item from that set. So if you have a Velatria Storm Crown and you shatter that and you get the Velatria Storm Crown shards, you then put that onto a helmet. The helmet becomes Velatria Storm Crown Reforged. It has this extra set affix, and it counts as Velatria Storm Crown for the purpose of getting the set bonus.
Boom! Oh my gosh, I have just been waiting to be able to talk about this system. I know there's been some other leaks here and there. Very, very simple. You're going to be able to shatter your sets, and those sets shatter. When you shatter the sets, it's going to give you set affixes. And then when you put that affix onto, let's say, an exalted item, that item is no longer purple. It is green. You can now create your own sets in Last Epoch. Last but not least, let's check out some new items coming, and some of these are Uber Avaroth drops.
We'll start with this one, Scissor of Atropos, 5 Weaver's Will. That looks really cool. Gain a stack of Kismet when you direct use a melee attack. What's Kismet? Is that a class skill thing, or?
Sounds like Kiss Me.
It's a buff that's unique to this item. So the effects you see here are the full effects of Kismet.
Says right under it.
When used as throwing attack, consume stacks to gain 8 throwing critical strike. Very cool. Per stack. Is there a max amount of stacks?
Yes, it is 8. It'll say that in the old text.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. I will pop open another one.
Give it a sec.
Then we have Clotho's Needle. Block chance is converted to parry chance. 25 melee crit. Multi per meter from the target up to 5 meters.
Finally getting some parry
20 increased
support.
range with Fireman and Puncture. 90 melee damage. And so is this the same max Weaver's Will as on normal items? Like it's not always 5? Or?
Yes, but Weaver's Will items still have an effective level for Weaver's Will, the same way that regular items have an effective level for legendary potential, and that affects how...
Sorry to cut you off, Ollie. By the way, this item is literally insane. The implicit is 90 melee damage, and it has 90 melee damage on the bottom. Base 180, not including the crit strike multiplier, not including the Weaver's Will rolls.
More likely they are to roll with high Weaver's Will or high legendary potential. And so it can roll with 28 Weaver's Will, but that's even less likely than a regular existing Weaver's Unique.
Very cool.
Can I ask a question here on these uniques with the Weaver's Will? So when we play with this and we move through the Weaver's Will, does it add additional power to the existing affixes, or does it add another affix that it pumps up?
New
Or
affixes.
can it add multiple affixes?
It adds one or more new affixes, the same way that Weaver's Will does on existing items.
Okay. So it's not buffing up the existing affixes. It's going to be something separate as you play with it on these.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then next up, we have Immortal Vice. 30% of hit damage taken.
This item is an Uber Abbey drop, level 86 requirement.
Bosses and rare enemies is dealt over 4 seconds instead. While you have more than 10% of your max health is delayed damage. Damage to health below your endurance threshold is reduced by 30%. Elite, melee attack speed, 90 health, and lots of strength.
This is one of the Uber Abbey uniques right here. And actually, Ziz, are you showing the one that has the roll ranges attached to it?
Let's see.
I got the team is feeding them to me right now.
As the one without ranges.
I see. Yeah, both.
Cool.
Melee
So
attack speed can go
Vice and Shatterpool
26.
to Uber Abbey uniques, and we have both of those with roll ranges on there.
Ah. And so these are with legendary potential, not with Weaver's Wail.
There is legendary potential. The Weaver themed uniques that you get inside tombs and from the tomb bosses, those tend to be Weaver's Will, whereas the new uniques from Woven Echoes with the other new bosses, new Brabroth, are just regular legendary potential uniques.
Now, if you heard what Judd said, I could finally unzip these lips. Zizarin, we gave you both Uber Aberoth drops with roll ranges. Yes, Shattered Worlds, my new treasure hunt community event coming April 2nd. I think it's the 8th treasure hunt event. We will be hunting Uber Aberoth Shattered Worlds. It's one of the rarest items in the game. It is so unbelievably good. I can't wait to get one. You're immune to slow, you have haste, base crit, all attributes, frenzy effect, 1 to skills, and the implicit on it can roll 10% less damage taken. Of course, this can also roll with legendary potential, or you can just throw it in a nemesis and turn it into a legendary. It's unbelievable. So this, yes, is the new treasure hunt item.
This guy.
That looks nice. That looks broken, actually.
Correct.
That's very cool. I think we have one more that I didn't show. Or don't.
All right, final pause for the stream. The new Blight two-handed staff for minions. +2 to skeleton mages, and you can get up to +2 necrotic, cold, and lightning minions, which means +6 potentially to minions. This also has minion damage on it and electrify chance for your minions. Yes, you could now do an electrify necro. I don't know. We're going to be messing around with this item like crazy, and they put mana regen on it, which is awesome. So you just got to get those mana affixes to roll on your two-handed staff. So you got to see idol crafting or hear about idol crafting. We now know about sets and how you can complete your own sets. You heard from Judd himself on timing for this update. You got to hear about the new procedural side zones and see the Uber items that can drop and a couple other new uniques coming. Season 2 is absolutely gonna be fantastic. I cannot say it enough how excited I am. Little ad at the end of this video. I wasn't going to do this until April 2nd, but I was showing it off on stream today. There was just so much overwhelming support. I just felt so blessed at the end of my Twitch stream today. And I just say this before I even drop this ad. Just thank you to everybody for the support. This has taken years and years of work. It is in its alpha beta stage. But today I officially launched actionrpg.com. Actionrpg.com is going to be a hub for build guides, leveling guides, news, tips, and tricks. The website is currently soft launch with Last Epoch, 37 builds, 5 leveling builds, tips and tricks, news. It's all there. Every single game has a custom CMS for it. And we're just going to continue to work on it. So I'm just asking people to go to actionrpg.com, click around, get a feel for it. We're taking all kinds of feedback. I've already got 2 lists of bugs that people have found, but really proud of the work the team has put in over a long time. And just go check it out. That's all I've got for today. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.